The live stream has started, Sheikh.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله أجمعين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome once again to another UCT Arabic class, and this evening inshallah bi'idhnillah we will start with the new lesson 12 inshallah. So we have الدرس الثاني عشر. So الدرس الثاني عشر inshallah, the 12th lesson. Just change the color. So we have the 12th lesson. So this lesson, inshallah, before we continue with the conversation between Su'ad and Al-Bint, we'll do some concepts. So this lesson is more of a reviewing what we have done in the previous weeks, in the previous lessons. So I just want to go over some of the concepts that we will cover in this lesson, which are very few, and many of them, or most of the lesson, is based on what we have done previously, inshallah. So in this lesson we learn a bit of we done before anta, and the feminine of that is and spoke about it before. So this lesson you're gonna be exposed more to the feminine pronouns. So anta becomes anti. Both of them are you. So anta is you, but for a male, so if we refer to a male, it is anta, and anti is you, but you refer to a female. So anta or anti. Then we have ka, again male, which means you. The difference is that anta, as we spoke about this before, and the ka is that anta, it is on its own, and the ka is attached to a word. So for example, kitabuka, your book, is alone, and this pronoun ka is joined to a word before it. So kitabuka, your book, speaking to a male, and kitabuki, your book, speaking to a female. And then we have dhahab. Dhahabta means, and then we have dhahabti. So dhahabta, did you go? Sorry, you went, basically. Dhahabta in past tense. It's not adhabta, it is dhahabta. You went. And dhahabti, you went, but in the past tense, you went, but for female. So dhahabta, male. Dhahabti, female. So you can see the same like the ka and the ki. The ka was for male and the ki was for female. Likewise, dhahabta, you went, male, you can see the fatha, and dhahabti, you went, female. And then we have dhahaba. Dhahaba, which means he went, and then we have dhahabat, she went. So by adding the stam marbuta, it becomes she went. So dhahaba, he went, and dhahabat, she went, and alladhi and allati. Alladhi and allati. So that for things that are masculine, alladhi, and that for things that are feminine, allati. Okay. So that's basically the male and female words. We have done a bit of the pronouns. The detached, which is anta and anti. The attached, which is ka and ki. Then we done a bit of the verbs. Dhahabat, dhahabta and dhahabti, and dhahaba and dhahabat. And then we done the relative pronoun, which is alladhi and allati. So we done the male and the female. And then another concept that comes up in this lesson, it is the tawkid, the emphasis, by using a pronoun to emphasize something. So here we have the sentence, هذا قلمك أنت. This is your pen. So هذا قلمك, this is your pen. It means it's in, but أنت at the end. You have أنت here. So why do we have أنت here? This is to emphasize. So let's say you're arguing with him, then you have a whole argument. At the end, you'll say هذا قلمك أنت. This is your pen, emphasizing that it's not someone else's pen, but it's actually your pen. End of story. So we do this in Arabic by adding the pronoun أنت. So هذا قلمك أنت. Or, so this is the pronoun of the ka. We can say هذا قلمك أنت. هذا قلمك أنت. This is your pen. If you have an argument, your pen, you can say هذا قلمك أنت. This is your pen by emphasizing. You shouldn't argue with your mother, but this is a way to emphasize in Arabic by putting a pronoun at the end to emphasize that it is actually the person or whichever pronoun you use. So let's say huwa. So this is his pen. Again, you're emphasizing this argument, but you're saying no, it's actually his pen. You're emphasizing the fact that it's actually his pen. Likewise, we have here هذا قلمي أنا. So you have again an argument with you and your friend, and you tell him هذا قلمي أنا. This is my pen. So you have an argument, say this is my pen. هذا قلمي أنا. So by adding this pronoun, you are emphasizing is actually your pen, meaning أنا, my pen, and not his pen. And then we have another example, هذا سيارته هو. This is his car. It's not, someone else's car, but it's actually his car. There's an argument going on. This is not your car. It's not my car, but it's his car. هذه سيارته هو. So you use these pronouns at the end of the sentence to emphasize that it belongs to a certain person. So هذا قلمك أنت. هذا قلمي أنا. هذه سيارته هو. And you can use any, pronoun, and it will give that emphasis that it is actually that person. The tawkid, the emphasis. Okay. Then we move on. Another concept that we learn in this lesson is how to ask, how are you? So in Arabic, we say كيف حالك. So كيف, so write this nicely down here. كيف حالك. So if you want to ask how are you and you're speaking to a male, we use the pronoun the ka. So كيف حالك. If you want to say how are you and you're speaking to a female, maybe your mommy, your sister, you say كيف حالك. And if you want to inquire about someone, inquire about someone else, how they are doing, then you can say كيف حاله. How is he doing? So كيف حالك, how are you doing? كيف حالك, how are you doing? Male and female. But the literal meaning of these words, كيف means how, and حال means condition. So كيف حال, how is condition, and the ka will be how is your condition. So by saying كيف حالك, you are actually saying how is your condition. كيف حاله, how is his condition. كيف حالها, how is her condition. But the way we speak in English, we say how are you. So كيف حالك, how are you. And you answer by saying أنا بخير. أنا, I am بخير. So be means I'm like with good. Be خير, خير means good. And the be will mean that I'm with. So you can say, or I'm in a state of goodness. Ana bi khairin. You can't say ana khairun. It will be wrong. You have to use this ba by saying ana be in a state of khairin, in a state of good. So ana bi khairin. And in English you will say I am good or I am fine. Walhamdulillah. And all praise is due to Allah. That's how we answer that. We always give praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because you are good, you are in a good state. The reason for it is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed you in a good state, and therefore you place Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's incorrect. You have to say ana bi khairin, and you can add walhamdulillah. The next concept we learn wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And as soon as I said that, it sounds a bit different because I'm saying assalamu alayki. Now, this alayki comes from ala and a ki. Ala means upon or on. So assalam means peace. Peace alayki be upon you. So assalamu alayki, as we know it, the translation as it is a dua, may peace be upon you. So we usually say kum, and kum is the plural of which dhamir, which pronoun ka. So assalamu alaykum means peace be upon you, plural. Assalamu alayka, peace be upon you, male. Assalamu alayki, peace be upon you, female. Assalamu alayhi, peace be upon him. Assalamu alayha, peace be upon her. So you can just change the dhamir. We say assalamu alaykum in a plural sense, in a plural form. And as scholars have said, the reason why we do that is by doing so, we are greeting not only the individual, but the angels and the good Muslim jinn that is with the angel by saying assalamu alaikum. So we can't see the angels, but we greet them assalamu alaikum. So the person will normally have an angel with him, and we know Munkar wa Nakir and the other angels around is always around that individual. So by saying assalamu alaikum, we are greeting the angels and the individual. But if you want to, and you can say assalamu alayka, it's only one person in front of you, that is totally permissible to do, to say assalamu alaikum. And if you want to practice your pronouns, you can say that. So if you see, for example, your mother, you can say assalamu alayki. If you see your father, you can say assalamu alayka. If you see your friend, you can say assalamu alayka. And that is the pronoun that we are attaching to the word ya. Assalamu alayka. It's because of the ala plus the pronoun. Assalamu alayya. Peace be upon me. Assalamu alayya. Assalamu alayka. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alayki. Peace be upon you. But for female, assalamu alayhi. And we know that in the previous lesson we said that we say ala plus hu, but when you add it to ala, so ala plus hu, it becomes he, alayhi. Like fi, we say the fi plus the hu becomes fihi. And we see this if before the ha, before the hu, there is a ya, then it gets a kasra. So these are the concepts that we have done so far in the lesson. So assalamu alayki, peace be upon you, peace be upon you. Wa rahmatullahi, and wa rahmatullahi, and upon you be rahmatullah, the mercy. So rahmah is mercy. And we know this is mudaf ilayhi construction because you see only one case ending and we say kasra, the mercy of Allah. Wa barakatuhu. Barakatuhu, the word barakat is the plural of the word baraka. So we have baraka, barakatun, and the plural is barakat. So we have barakat and we have baraka. So baraka is a plural form of barakat. So the translation will be Assalamu alayki, peace be upon you, speaking to a female, wa rahmatullahi, and be upon you the mercy of Allah. This alayki is intended again in this meaning, wa rahmatullah, and upon you being the mercy of Allah, barakatuhu, and barakatuhu, we know the who, his, and his blessings. So may the peace be upon you, wa rahmatullah, and the mercy of Allah, wa barakatuhu, and his blessings. And now, inshallah, we'll move on to the text there, inshallah, the conversation between Su'ad and Al-Bint. So let's go into it. We have a conversation between Su'adu, and Al-Bintu. So Su'adu says Assalamu alayki, and we know it is ki. Why are we saying ki? Because we are referring to the bint. We are speaking to the bint. This bint means the girl that Su'ad is speaking to. She's greeting the girl, and therefore she can say ki. She can say kum as well, because it might be that she's greeting the angels as well, Assalamu alaikum, but she wants to greet only the bint, the girl, and therefore she will say Assalamu alayki. So Assalamu alayki wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah, may the peace and mercy of Allah and his blessings be upon you. So Assalamu alayki, the peace or peace, alayki, be upon you, wa rahmatullahi, and the mercy of Allah, wa barakatuh, and his blessings. Al-Bintu, wa alayki salam. Now she replies by saying, wa alayki salam, and upon you, again, the key, because Su'ad is a female. Su'ad is a female name, and therefore she replying back to Su'ad, and she says, wa alayki salam, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And upon you be peace, wa rahmatullah, and the mercy of Allah, barakatuh, and his blessings. Kayfa haluki, your condition. Again, the key is speaking to a female. So kayfa haluki ya bintu, oh girl. So how are you, oh girl? Ana bi khayrin. So ana bi khayrin, because this ba is a harf jar, harf jarrin. So harf jar, as we've done before, we see it gives the word that comes after the kasra, so it's giving the khayrin a kasra. And we have to put this there because you're saying that, ana bi khayrin, I'm in a state of good, walhamdulillah, and praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Min ayna anta, from where are you? Min ayna anta, from where are you? Again, sorry, min ayna anti, we are speaking again. The conversation is between females, so min ayna anti. So from where are you? Ana min al-Riyadi, I'm from Riyadh. Masmuki, again we are speaking to a female, so masmuki, what is your name? The kaf, again, what is your name? Ismi, again the ya, my name, ismi Amina too. Aina abuki, again we see that abu, ab, plus a pronoun or mudaf, and mudafun ilayh, abu will be the mudaf, and whatever comes mudafun ilayh will be abu. We're adding a wow when you join them two together. So aina abuki, abi, my father, huna, my father, abi huna fil madinati al-munawwara, my father is here fil madinati al-munawwara, in madinati al-munawwara. Huwa muwajjihun, he is an instructor. He is an instructor في المدرسة الثانوية. In مدرسة الثانوية, in secondary school. So he is an instructor in secondary school. المدرسة الثانوية. وأين أمك? Again, we're speaking to someone who's female. وأين أمك? And where is your and where is your mother? هي أيضا هنا. هي أيضا we see this also. So here referring to the So she is also here. So هو as we done before, هو, and that's the male, and here is the female. So here أيضا هنا, she is also here. هي طبيبة في المستشفى الولادة. So مستشفى الولادة, it is مستشفى means hospital, ولادة means birth. So this is a maternity hospital. So this is a hospital. So مستشفى الولادة is maternity hospital. هي أيضا هنا, هي طبيبة في المستشفى الولادة. She is a doctor in the maternity hospital. ومن هذا الفتاة التي معك? So we said التي, as you mentioned, is the feminine of الذي. So and we have التي. This is masculine, and feminine is التي, which can mean that or who. So من هذا الفتاة? Who is this young lady? With young girl. التي معك, that is with you, or who is with you, if you translate it to who or to that. So ومن and who is this young girl who is with you, معك, with you. أهي أختك? Is she أختك, your, so key, sorry, أهي أختك? Is she your sister? Again, your with the key. لا هي بنت عمي. لا, no, here she is بنت عمي. So here bint means daughter, the daughter of ammi. Ammi, maternal uncle. So she's a daughter of my paternal, sorry, not maternal, paternal uncle. So she is my cousin basically. So your paternal uncle, meaning the brother of your father, your brother of your father's daughter will be your cousin. So hiya bintu ammi. So she is the daughter of my paternal uncle. So ammi means my paternal uncle. Masmuha, what is her name? Her name. Ismuha Fatimatu. Her name is Fatimatu. Ahiya zamilatuki. Is she your colleague or your peer? لا, أنا في المدرسة المتوسطة. لا, no, I am في المدرسة المتوسطة. I'm in middle school. So أنا في المدرسة المتوسطة وهي في المدرسة الثانوية. And she is in, وهي في مدرسة الثانوية. She is in secondary school. Okay. ألك أخت, again, like we done before and we mentioned this before, when we're speaking about do you have, and things are inseparable, can't separate, like relationships, like ukht, like sister, then we use laki. Alaki, do you have ukhtun? Do we have a sister? La mali. So to negate that, we said we have this ma. Ma al-istifham, sorry, ma al-nafiya. That will negate whatever is mentioned in the sentence. So li ukhtun, I have a sister. So مالي أخت, I do not have a sister. لا مالي أخت, I do not have a sister. ألك أخ, do you have a brother? And the answer here is نعم لي أخ كبير. I have a big brother. أخ كبير. Again نعت and منعوت. So we have أخت أخ with the منعوت. So you see that this lesson basically reviews many of the previous concepts that you have done. And نعت will be the كبير. So منعوت, this is the نعت. And I have to agree in many things. Let's see. So it is لي أخ. So the green case ending. Both of them are indefinite, no al. Both of them are masculine, and both of them are singular. So لي أخ كبير وهو طالب بالجامعة. Again, we have the ba, and it gets the kasra. And this ba, we see it will mean, in or at. So وهو طالب بالجامعة, and he is a student at the university. ومن هذا الطفل الذي معك, and who is this طفل, child? So ومن هذا الطفل, and who is this child, الذي, who is with you? So who is this child that is with you? Can you translate this as that, or this is as who, depending how you translate it? So ومن هذا الطفل, and who is this child, الذي, that, معك, with you, and into a female. Who was son of my akhi, of my brother. So this is a nephew. So in Arabic, we don't have these words, like for example, like cousin and nephew. How do we say it? We say ibnu akhi. So we know exactly what we're speaking about. Because you say nephew, which side we don't know, but here we can know exactly by saying ibnu akhi, the son of my brother. Ibnu akhi, mudaf ilayh construction. So huwa ibnu akhi, he is the son of my brother, so my nephew. Masmuhu, what is his name? The who, again, what is his name? Ismuhu, his name, Sa'adun, he is Sa'ad. Ummuki fil bayt al-ana, again, we're speaking to a female, therefore we have a ki. Ummuki, is your mother fil bayt al-ana, in the house? Now, la, no. ذهبت إلى المستشفى, she went to the mustashfa, the hospital. So that brings us to the end of the conversation between Su'ad and the bint, the girl. And now, inshallah, we'll do a bit of the tamareen, the exercises, inshallah. So, Brother Abdullahi, are you there?
Yes, Sheikh.
So, inshallah, Brother Abdullahi, we will have to read and write. So, again, those at home, you should write, inshallah, this out with the vowels. And Brother Abdullahi will read it, inshallah. We'll read from كيف حالك يا أبي all the way down to number 9, رقم 9, أنت طبيبة. So, Brother Abdullahi, can you read? And those at home, try to read as well. And remember the concepts that we have mentioned, and those you have done before as well, inshallah, so that this will be a good exercise for you to see if you can apply all the concepts so you can recite with the correct vowels at the end of the words. So, Brother Abdullah, you can start reading, inshallah.
كيف حالك يا أبي؟ كيف حالك يا أمي؟ أين ابنك يا زينب؟ ذهب إلى المسجد. أين بنتك يا آمنة؟ ذهبت إلى المدرسة. لمن هذه الساعة الجميلة؟ أهي لك يا فاطمة؟ نعم، هي لي. أهذا قلمك يا محمد؟ لا، هذا قلمك أنت. تلك السيارة الجميلة التي خرجت الآن من المدرسة للمدير. أأنت مهندس يا أخي؟ لا، أنا طبيب. أأنت طبيبة يا أختي؟ لا، أنا مدرسة.
Jazakallah, brother Abdullah. So you can see in this exercise, they wanted to see if we will be able to choose the correct pronoun when we are reading. So كيف حاله? If you heard brother Abdullah reciting, you have heard him saying كيف حالك, and the reason why we have كيف حالك, because you're speaking to يا أبي, to my father, يا أبي, my father. So كيف حالك يا أبي? How are you, oh my father? So while reading, you have to anticipate what will the pronoun be by looking at the word that comes after. So كيف حالك? Why? Because you're speaking about يا أمي, my mother. So كيف حالك? Ki is for female. So أين بنك? Where is your son? يا زينب. Again, the key, because we are speaking about Zainab. ذهب, we see ذهب means he went. ذهب إلى المسجد, he went to the masjid. أين بنتك? Again, the key, because he's speaking about Amina, to speaking to Amina. So أين, you're asking Amina the question, where is your daughter, oh Amina? And again, ذهبت, he said, means she went إلى المدرسة, to the school. لمن هذه السيارة الجميلة? To whom belongs, we done this before, we said liman means to whom belongs. So to whom belongs هذه الساعة الجميلة? Again, we have the man'ut and the na'at. So it is man'ut and na'at, so it will be to whom belongs this beautiful watch. أهي لك, again, because you are speaking about Fatima. أهي لك يا فاطمة? Does it belong to you, O Fatima? نعم يلي. Yes, it belongs to me. And we see that when you use the lam, it belongs to, meaning that you own and possess that thing that I know that you have. أهذا قلمك? Why? Because you're speaking about Muhammad, and you're speaking to Muhammad, and therefore you're going to use that pronoun ka, because you're speaking about you. So أهذا قلمك يا Muhammad? Is this your pen? Or Muhammad, لا هذا قلمك أنت. No, this is your pen, emphasizing. We don't say this is your pen, you, but because of the anta we see at the end, meaning we translate the emphasis as well by saying your, like this. No, لا هذا قلمك أنت. No, this is your pen, emphasizing. تلك السيارة الجميلة التي خرجت الآن من مدرسة المدير. Again, تلك we done, تلك for things of far, and this will be the, we spoke about this, اسم الشارع, and whatever comes after it will be the badal. التي خرجت الآن من الفصل, we spoke about the اسم موصول and the verb خرجت. We said that it means she left or she exited. الآن من المدرسة للمدير. So she won't be she, it will be it, because he's speaking about the car. So خرجت will mean التي خرجت, that left. الآن, now, من المدرسة, from the school. للمدير belongs to the مدير. Number 9. أأنت مهندس يا أخي? Are you a engineer, oh my brother? Again, أأنت, because he's speaking about a male. أخي, لا أنا طبيب. No, I am a doctor. Again, saying أنا طبيب, I am a doctor. Number 9, أأنت طبيبة? Are you? Again, T. Why? Because he's feminine. He's speaking to a female, which is طبيبة, a female doctor, يا أختي, أو my sister. So the T is actually because you're speaking to your sister, أو my sister. So أنت طبيبة يا أختي, are you a female doctor, أو my sister? لا أنا مدرس. No, I am a مدرسة. I am a female teacher. And I think, inshallah, that will be, enough for this evening. We have covered quite a lot. We have done the concepts as well as the conversation and the first exercise. And inshallah, next week we will start with Tamreen Raqam Ithnain, inshallah. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Brother Abdullahi. So those at home, try to read this conversation with someone. It's good to have this conversation because it forces you to speak in the feminine. So if you have someone, even if you are both males, just speak in the feminine. Have a conversation, but in the feminine pronoun forms, so that it basically expose you to how to speak to females. If you're speaking to your mother, to your sister, and how, if you're female, how to reply and how to answer and so forth. So it's good to speak in the feminine form so that you can practice speaking in the feminine form, so that if you do speak to a female, it will not be so strange because you are using the different pronouns, which are for feminine and for masculine. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Brother Abdullahi. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Shukran Sheikh for this informative class. I'll now open up the breakout rooms and I encourage you to join them to engage with the tutors.